Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 113, the long and not so short of it. We're going to be talking about big hobby projects or long term hobby projects, or however you want to position it. Um, you know, how do, well, how do we come up with them? How do we handle them? Do we actually get them done? That type of thing. So, um, we'll probably also talk some. We'll also talk some Star Wars because some stuff's gone down recently with the Star Wars celebration over in London. So we'll have that to talk about, and yeah, just gonna have a good time tonight. Got McMurray with me. Reese will be joining us here in a little while. And
what's up, guys? Jeffy and Brian,
also,
I know we're going to try and make it as well. They just got stuff busy tonight.
Yeah. Brian dealing with some family stuff, and what he's been going through is understandable. So Charles was here way early at 2:47 Central Time. He says, "Short, short." I resemble that comment. And then he comes back about 7:48. Skeletons are done and drying. Outstanding, sir.
Nice.
Rabbits just need something on their bases. Next, no idea. Orcs, rats, ogres, or goblins. Also Atlantic. Stay away from them goblins for now, buddy. Do yourself a favor and do something easy like those rats. I'm gonna be serious with you. Do yourself a favor. It says, "Oh, and good evening to all the most extraordinary individuals." And Richard Keenan coming in. Good evening, everyone. Hey, Richard. Again, thanks for your daily updates over on Discord. It's greatly appreciated. And even though you didn't get any painting done, you did some mold scraping. Hey, that's hobby time you get to count. So
man, every step of the way is important.
Yep, exactly. I think that's the one thing I like most about 3D printing miniatures. Don't have mold lines.
That's fair, but you got supports and stuff. Like everything's got its prep work.
Yeah, you got. But honestly, the pre-supported stuff actually is really good. I mean,
that's fair. If you can hammer your exposure settings good, get them real ironed out, and you're getting good pre-supported figures, because not all pre-supported figures are created equal. But
no, definitely not.
There are certainly some that are better, and by all means, like use the pre-supported stuff. Like, yeah, I know that I used to have a buddy who would always just go in and like try and support stuff on its own, and it's kind of one of those like that the person who made that figure, designed that figure, and who does that professionally, put those supports in, use them.
Right. Exactly.
Like you always get angry because you get failures. And it's one of those, dude, you had a perfectly good model and you screwed it up.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. It's if they are pre-supported, or you have the pre-supported option, use that to print. The only reason I could think of why or where you would use the non-pre-supported or the non-supported model is if you were going to throw it into Blender and have it, change things up. Like, maybe you're going to take this model here and move his leg to be, straight instead of bent like that, because this.
Yeah, I know Harrington does a lot of that.
Yeah,
John manipulates a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and that's cool. I mean, by all means, I have not gotten into using Blender much or at all, because I can tell whoever designed the software was a CAD person and not an art person, because it doesn't work like a art application. It works like a CAD application, and that just drives me nuts. So,
Yeah, wasn't Wiley saying that too?
What's that?
Wasn't Wiley saying that too?
Yeah. Yeah. Warmut says, hello, beautiful people. Hello, Warmut.
Hey, buddy.
Steve's in the house. Hey, fellas, just the dynamic duo tonight. It is a dynamic duo, but we are going to have Reese pop in. So, however that works out, I don't know. That's the trio.
Steve's the man. What's up, Steve? It's good to hear from you, buddy.
Charles says, thankful for the extra spears from the skeletons. Got some old mounted metal figs. Nice. He has some old mounted metal figures with no weapons. And Scout Gremlin's in the house saying, "Hey all, how you doing, buddy?" Scout Gremlin's been doing some good work, showing some good work over on the Discord server. Also, he's got a Vulcan spaceship that got 3D printed that he's working on, and some really, really tiny. Federation run. Excuse me, guys.
You're good. Take a second. If you guys aren't on the Discord, it has been blowing up here recently. In terms of people posting all the stuff they're working on, talking about it, kind of collaborating, encouraging one another. It's pretty outstanding. It's awesome to see.
I really like it. What I was saying is he did a 1/1000th scale, some 1/1000th scale Federation runabouts from DS9. Not little, they're actually big shuttles, warp shuttles, but they're tiny in the fact that the models are smaller than a quarter. And he did an amazing job on them. So, and then he's got a really good looking, it's a Vorta for the Jem'Hadar, which, for you Star Trek freaks out there, which I am one. Don't worry. Those are, you know what they are. But in the background of that photo of that Vorta is hold on. I'm going to pull this up here. Yeah, it's a Master Chief with the alien
sword.
The sword gun thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, Scalar Gremlin's doing some good work. Been seeing some good stuff coming from Reese. Got some good stuff coming from Walkabout, Chris Long. So yeah, it's all good stuff. In fact, Chris Long is in the house. He says hello all, and Warmut wants to know if you're off tonight, McMurray. I believe you are you not?
Absolutely, yeah. I'll be here the whole time. I'm about to say Warmut's been putting into work also. Go check out his channel. He's been putting weekly updates up. I feel like as long as I've been doing these goofy little rabbit warrens, and there's not a single one of them that's finished yet.
Yeah, Warmut's putting down the gauntlet. He is doing great stuff. I'm hoping it's helping keep him mentally sound with all that's, and emotionally sound with all that's going on in his life. So he greets Chris Long greets back. Scout Gremlin says we play Star Trek ships games at 1/7000th scale, but for the shuttles we do upscale them to 1/1000th. That makes sense because at that point in time, a 1/7000th scale runabout is going to be like 2mm Napoleonics. You might as well just get a grain of rice.
I'm about to say, we were talking, John over at Joy Wargaming put up a video about, kind of budget entry into the game. Which we by all means should do a series, because I got those Army men way back when and showed a bunch of people how to play Fistful of Lead for like, $13 or something.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we need to do that again.
He put up a video about that, and all I could think of was, because he was talking like, for mass battles, this might not work as well. But if you only need like 40 guys per side, all I could think of was Paul's Warlord Games 2mm Napoleonic unboxing, where he just drops down the Jasmine Rice. Like, yep, there it is. Okay, there we've got some Cuirassiers. There we got some, like, oh,
Yeah.
man. Legend.
Like says, what's cracking, humans? And Chris Long, I keep building and priming ships and subs.
Bro, Chris, at some point in time, we got to paint these things. And I know you're not going to have a problem with it, but I certainly probably will.
So, for those that didn't see on Sunday, I got Los Angeles, USS Los Angeles built. Looking rather dapper, I think.
Absolutely.
And I got my Akula class sub done. Looking spiff. So, got the rules downloaded. So now it's just a matter of actually reading them and going through them and figuring out how to play the game. So there's that. Skylar Millen says Warmutt's video on the Jabba Mini was heartbreaking. I too was really sad to see how small that Jabba is.
Have you seen the Imperial Assault Jabba, Chris?
Yeah, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, it is tiny.
It's
like Imperial Assault isn't as expensive as Legion, but I'm sure that it wasn't, a $5 mini.
Right.
And it was one of those, come on, guys, like, just whatever. Yeah. I was happy to see that apparently they're not discontinuing Imperial Assault. That's good, because I liked Imperial Assault more than Legion, to be honest with you. So that's cool.
So what the deal is they Fantasy Flight stopped it in 2019, but I think Atomic Mass is bringing it back.
Okay.
So there's reason to believe that we will be getting more of that. And really, that's right up Warmutt's alley, being that he is a fiend for Zombicide. It's the same style of game.
Yeah.
With, having the panels that you lay out to make your area, that type of thing. So, but let's go ahead and dig into our main topic.
Yeah.
Oh, before that, I right now, and I can't remember for how long. Let me take a look at my email. There is a sale on the core rules, and why aren't you downloading?
50% on core, 30% on downloads through shit.
For whatever reason, my email has decided
through Thursday, so through tomorrow.
Shit.
Through tomorrow.
Through tomorrow. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Through 420. Which normally means they might be throwing something on the 21st. On Friday.
Good Lord, that means Bigger Battles is going to be Bigger Battles and core. The downloads are under $5.
Right. Yeah. Do yourself a favor. And grab if you haven't already grabbed the PDFs, go grab those PDFs. So, but yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. And remember, the Baroness is keeping track of all that you spend with them. And when you hit certain levels, dollar amounts, you'll get nifty gifts like coasters and dice trays and baseball caps, etc. and so forth. I won't dive into it too deep, but yeah, every dollar you spend with them gets tracked because that's what they do. And I think at this point in time, McMurray probably has a full wardrobe based off of how much he's spent.
Well, between that and then March to Victory shirts and May the Fourth be with you shirts and Battles and Brews, and then just generic Wiley Game shirts. Yeah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, big projects. So normally when I have a big project, it's because I'm going to be running something at a convention. And when I do convention games, obviously, I supply everything. Oh, hey, Hex to Hex is in the house. He says he's wearing his March to Victory thong as we speak.
Nice.
Good to know.
It's got the Baron's face right over the
right.
Well, we'll call it a mask because it's sitting on Jeffy's little Jeffy's head.
Right, exactly. So, but excuse me. So the last big project, really truly big project that I was working on was, and it's not finished. I'll admit to that right now, is my my TNT 4 interior.
Oh yeah.
It's enough that I can play a scenario on it or several scenarios on it, but it's not where I want it to be. I want it to be much bigger. Why have I not finished it? To be honest, I still have to go buy the STLs that I need to finish it. So
honestly, I wish Jeff would jump on here because part of this also is like Monster Games, right?
Oh yeah, it'd be
like
Monster Games as well. Yeah,
that's one of the things I was going to talk about specifically.
Yeah, Hexy, you got the link. If you would, if you want to jump on, and we'll talk about monster board games also, or games that you could put together as what's the word I'm looking for here? Different boxes of games that you could put together as campaigns. So
yeah, man.
Yeah. So he just looked at the thing, so he might be jumping on here in a little bit. But yeah, that's the last big project that I started on. I've been helping my brother with his. There he is. Hello, Hex.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to mute you.
Hey, buddy.
I'll come on for a couple minutes.
Okay.
That's something I'm working out.
So yeah, that's and we'll get back to me since Hexy is gonna jump in here with us. We'll go ahead and talk to him about, how do you pick a monster game, and do you take them to completion?
You want to.
Right.
Like the Tunisia game, Tunisia 2 that I just took down. My brain in that one was set. I wanted to get to the point where 8th Army arrives. And I did. And I got about 2 or 3 turns beyond 8th Army arriving. Did I get to the completion of the game? No. But I saw what was happening in those 2 or 3 turns. And they were just going to finish Rommel off and throw him out of the desert into the ocean. So I went and took that down. Plus, I had some other things I want to work on. Picking one to play, if I know the system, like, of course, GBACW, I don't have any hardship picking one of those. making a decision I'm going to play one of those monster games because I love it. OCS, I love OCS. And there's a few other ones out there. Sometimes it's hit or miss. If you don't know the system, maybe you've just seen pictures or something like that, you might be taking a long shot and it not work out for you. And then also you got to pick, don't set up something that's a monster if it's not something you don't enjoy, the period, the error, whatever. Don't even go down that road. But then again, maybe you play a scenario that's inside a monster game of a period that you really don't know anything about and not sure you're going to like it. You might find out you like it. Then you can go on and play a monster of that one if that works for you.
Yeah, so that was going to be one of my questions. So you got a monster game, and the one that popped up in my mind, Jeff, is Day of Days, right?
Right.
It's a huge game. It's not the most complicated, but like space-wise, it's 5 maps. It's probably a few dozen turns if we're playing the whole campaign game at least. And excuse me. So the question is, like, looking at that, are you going to try and bite off the whole campaign at once? Because that's certainly a monster project. Or are you going to play each of the beaches, right? Because you can play the American beaches and you can play the British beaches in separate scenarios. Like, does that...
Yeah.
Are those both still, like, is that still the monster project, that long-term big project of Day of Days?
Well, yeah, and those 4 maps where it's 2 and 2 offset, that, I mean, you could pull it off in the garage. I don't think I could pull it off in my game room, but that would be one of those monster games that I would love to. Yeah, I'd love to go from start to finish on that one. I think a lot of people out there, it's funny because I see a lot of comments, people out there are always looking for the D-Day game where they don't have to do the beach landings.
Yeah.
And, I think a lot of people would tackle some of those. It's okay. Is it easy enough for me to do? Well, yeah, because I'm by myself. There's no pets, no other people in the house for me to worry about messing something up. I would say 90% of players out there can't do that. They can't pull that off. And most of them that are going to be able to do it are probably the retirees that, have that nice extra room or that big downstairs basement or den where they can set this stuff up. Well, 90% of people I don't think can pull it off. So it's better just to stick scenarios, get it, play it, get it done, get a result. And I think there's a great feeling of satisfaction when you can actually complete a scenario, as opposed to, I don't know how many times I've been disappointed where I set up a campaign game and I didn't finish it and never got the end result.
Yeah, it's not. Well, that's the thing, right? And I have not attempted as large of games as you have, to be sure, but it can be discouraging to get something set up, get part of the way through it, and then just have to say, okay, I'm probably all right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh wow! I just saw that. I don't know if he's over here right now, but Mike did a unboxing of that Battle for St. Louis game that I played, Jeff.
I just saw that. I didn't get a chance to look at it, but I just saw that.
But anyways, so if you guys aren't watching, or if you aren't following Mike over at his channel on Meandering Mike, go ahead and jump over there too. Not a monster game, but still good.
Well, you guys played Into the Snow. That's a 4-mapper, right? An elongated 4-mapper. And you played
it is, yeah. Into the Snow was weird. That was a big 4-mapper because some of them are landscape, some of them are portrait. Yeah. That was, that's the only reason I'd be able to play Day of Days is because I built that table out to be 10 foot by 4 foot.
Right. I think the only difference is going to be there is I think your counter density for Day of Days is going to be 10 times what it was for Market Garden.
Absolutely. Because that was still only, those 5 maps were still like, I think maybe 2 counter sheets.
Right.
Yeah. It's going to be
Curse game that I'm playing right now. It's just a 1-map game. But I'm already witnessing it because I'm still in the first 2 or 3 phases of the first turn. And, people talk about that one turn in that game, well, granted, it's not a massive amount of turns, but one turn in that game can be an hour to 2 hours.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? It's certainly not a monster, but my point is playing Stalingrad Pocket 2. I don't remember if it was right after, but just playing it shortly after It Never Snows. I think you have the same number of counters, if not even maybe a couple more, on a single map game. And I can honestly tell you that may have been more mentally taxing than It Never Snows.
Yeah, I think Day of Days and You would go over well. I know you don't like the map, but I think your love for playing SCS and the way you play those games, you're going to get right after it off those beaches as hard as you can. I think 3 or 4 turns in, it's going to stay on the table till you're done.
Oh, I agree with you. And that might be one that I know Todd and I are trying to play the Victory series, but that could certainly be one, because isn't Day of Days broken up by map to a certain extent in terms of how much effect you can have across maps?
Yeah, your strategic movement or whatever, and
Yeah, so I mean, it wouldn't be terribly difficult to, play solo map. Like, okay, I'm going to do this map. Next, I'll do the same turn on the next one, same turn on the next one, same turn on the next one. That would have been my only concern, is not remembering where I was. But man, okay, guys. So now there's another giant map, or another large long-term project that just got added to the list.
Mighty Endeavor. Chuck, Chris, you're playing one. You got one set up right behind you.
Yep.
Even though it's not overly oversized, it's still a monster game.
Do you have
it
Civil
is.
War?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's and the one I had up just before that, it's pretty counter dense as well. Nimitz by DVG. It's pretty counter intensive as well. It had, oh boy, I think it had more than 10 counter sheets.
Right.
Now that's divided up by year. So 40, 42, 43, 44, 45. So like there's a USS North Carolina counter for, there's 4 North Carolina counters because there's one for each year.
I was about to say, how many Yorktowns and Lexingtons are there?
Well, there's one original, and I think
how many?
2.
How many USS Rangers? That'd be another fun one. But yeah,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and so again, that's one of those things that it's not necessarily physically a huge game, but it's
There's a
again
lot to it.
we very earliest in proposing this to you, I very intentionally said long-term projects, not big games,
Right.
massive miniature projects, because it's very different, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, there's for me in the board game world, the U.S. Civil War is a big game. For in my mind, for a couple of reasons. A, it's a big game because of its counter density. There is quite a few counters to deal with, but also just the area that it covers. It covers the entirety of the United States from southern Pennsylvania all the way to the Gulf of Mexico, and from the Atlantic Ocean to far east Texas. It's a big chunk of area that you're covering. Another game that could be a monster game is World at War 85. When you put the 8 maps together to make the one big one for Fulda Gap.
Right.
You know, that's a 4 foot by 8 foot, basically, table that's going to could potentially have hundreds of counters on it. Hey, John, how you doing, buddy? So, you think of lock and load games as not being big games because the maps are basically 2 ledger-sized pieces of paper. But when you throw 4 of them, 8 of them together, it becomes a really big game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That being said, if anybody on here has a copy of Lock and Load's Bloody Mohawks that they want to get rid of, whether that's sell or trade or whatnot, pipe up.
How you doing, buddy?
Real excited to do that. Yeah, that's a good point. Devin,
How you doing?
Devin, please do your magic. Oh, wait, did he just pipe in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's here.
Devin, I'm hoping that thumbs up means you found a copy of Bloody Mohawk. I figure you have a couple copies of it, like sitting under a table leg in an office or something, or under a desk to keep it level.
It's helping keep his computer table upright.
Yeah, you're using it as a coaster or something.
Right.
But
So,
yeah, very excited to give that a shot. Not necessarily a monster, but it does. I mean, certainly looks like there's enough to eat some serious time in there, and I'm really excited to try and give it a shot.
he's gonna check with the warehouse guy for you.
Oh shit! Yeah, let me know, Devin. That'd be awesome. But yeah, holler. I mean, we're friends on the Facebooks. But
Me and
What
Mike's
other-
in the house saying greetings.
Mike,
Yep.
Mike,
The
happy
meandering-
to see you. Yeah, meandering, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Mike, about your video about the Battle of St. Louis or Battle for St. Louis. I wonder, was that what you were filming at How to Play on? I played through that and had a pretty good time. That guy is local. To Chris and I out here.
Also, speaking of meandering, Mike, if you want, I don't remember the name of the game, and I apologize, Mike. But if you want a chance at winning said game, head on over to his YouTube channel, and by April 22nd, which is this Saturday, watch the video, do the thing, and get entered to win the prize. Now, if you are the winner, you will have to pay shipping, but apparently the game is worth quite a bit, and the cost of shipping is a paltry sum in comparison. Brittany with over 200 minis. Sign up by Saturday the 22nd. There you go. And he says, no, he's doing a How to Play on Fort Jefferson Attack.
Oh, nice.
So there you go. So yeah, head on over to Meandering Mike. He says $14 max shipping charge. It's $100 value. There you go. Boom, done. Throw your name into the hat, because there you have it. Brittany sounds like it's something British. Britannia sounds like something British and of the Roman era, I guess. I don't know. I'm a very bad gamer when it comes to following shit like that. I do not.
Yeah, but
I do
could
not
say the
have
difference
my.
between R2D2 and a Dalek. So, who cares?
Yeah. Yeah, I do not have my thumb on the pulse of the gaming hobby like some people do. I have my thumb on the pulse on portions of it, but
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not. Well, I'm not like Jeffy and being able to talk about just scads of board games, or like you being able to talk about scads of different miniatures games because you own all of them.
Working on it. Working on
So-
more.
Oh yeah. So my current big project, besides learning to play the U.S. Civil War, I brought it back out again because damn it, I will get it figured out. Um, I honestly don't have a big, all-encompassing project right now. Like I said, I've been helping my brother with Kanji City, getting stuff printed. The buildings for that getting printed. I've been painting the crap out of like these guys here. Getting some nice camo work done. So, but as for miniature gaming big projects, I don't have anything currently. Jeff, if you're wanting to talk, you're muted.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Okay.
Well, Jeff, you got a decent sized
I did.
15 millimeter project going.
Yeah, I did. I'll do it. So okay, so I told you I was doing the black primer, gray white spray.
Uh-huh.
All right, so I decided, you know what? I granted that's still a good option. I think that'll be a little more effective on bigger, like 28 millimeters, something like that. It'd probably look a little better, even bigger than that. But for me, this has to be not a brain buster and be nice. So I went back to my Russians, which are all primed white. And I said, okay, I'm going to make these damn colors work over white, the speed paint colors, and I'm starting to have some success. So that's I'm actually enjoying painting with that. Dev, whose idea was it to send me the Lock and No tactical stuff? Was that David or you? Because I sure appreciate it.
It's got Devin's face on the one of them. Did Devin autograph Heroes of
All I know is this: I got an email yesterday. When I got home from work today, the box was here. And I thought it was going to be the one from Jester, but it wasn't. It was the one from Lock and Load.
There you go.
Oh hell, what's the game that Devin's on the front of?
Here's the Winter Harvest.
Yeah.
There you go. Again, did Devin autograph Heroes of the Winter Harvest for you?
I didn't look yet. I opened it up, looked at the boxes and the two magazines, and said, "Okay, yeah, sweet."
Mike says lots of vibrancy when you speed paint over white primer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and the colors actually show their true mix over white. But I don't know. I think the next ones I do, I'm going to
looks like it was David's workings, Jeff.
sepia. Yeah, well, I mean, he sent me the ones before too, and that was just so nice. And hey, guess what? They were all about the East.
What?
East front.
I love it.
Yep. So, a quick this day in history, which was actually I think it was either yesterday or 2 days ago. 80 years ago this week, we'll say. We had the ultimate in fuck around and find out comeuppance. It's when Admiral Yamamoto got shot down by the United States Army Air Force over, I think, was it Papua New Guinea?
Something like that, yeah.
We were able to figure out, because we had broken their code again and again and again, uh, not only where but when, almost down to the minute he was going to be flying over this one specific location where our P-38s could get to, and took out both his and his assistant adjutant's airplanes. So, good times. That's what you get with fucking with us.
Yeah, don't fuck with our boats. This isn't hard.
Let's see. Devin says, "Hell, I haven't even got copies of my game yet. That sucks." Charles says, "You got an email notice from Compass, Interceptor Ace Volume 2. All right, good stuff." And Mike says, "My game design class is done. I can get back to painting now." Outstanding.
Nice.
I hope you end up doing well in that class. Whether you're getting a letter / number grade or your pass fail, I hope you do well. Excuse me. Oof. So do you have anything you're working on? Either big board game or big model project?
Well, I'm playing that curse game, and I Band of Brothers set up. But now that this lock and load stuff, well, okay, so not yet, but I imagine here maybe tomorrow or Saturday that Napoleon game from Lock and Load is going to show up, and that's going to go. Band of Brothers is probably going to have to come down, and that's going to go up on the table so I can start getting after that. I'm pumped about that. I haven't played a tactical, so to speak, Napoleonic game since Wellington's victory, and many years ago. So I'm really kind of pumped up about that.
So I'm gonna, while McMurray regales us with what he's working on, I'm going to look at that. That game that you're talking about. So McMurray, what do you got working on?
What game? Britannia?
No. What game are you, just in general? What do you have a board game that you're playing currently, or you got a big model project that you're working on? What do you have happening?
Right now, I do not have any games on the table in terms of big board games. That being said, once we're done being live here, all viewers switch over to Hex to Hex for an unboxing of
Not tonight.
Storm over Jerusalem.
Not tonight. I was thinking maybe, man, I can't do it tonight. There's no way, because I'm not going to be on here very long. So
okay,
I wish we could, but I can't.
That's okay. I might just start playing it then.
Why not just save it? When's the next day you're off?
Because I really want to play it, and I got to work this weekend. When am I going to have any time to play it?
You should have bought 2 copies of it.
Yeah.
One for unboxing and one for playing. Because I'm saying, if you hang on, I'm going to get the Napoleon game. We can do them together.
When? Tomorrow?
I can't.
No, whatever.
I can't. Whenever you're working, I can't do it. Not on a weeknight. It'd have to be on a weekend. And of course, you know where I'm going to be gone this weekend. So.
Well, it's fine because I have to work this weekend. Yeah, then I might just start playing it. I really want to play it.
We can still shoot a talk about video.
Yeah. So that'll be on the table. It's not really a big heaping game, you know what I mean? It's not really a long-term game. It's a Storm Over series game, but it's one of the more modern ones, not one of the original ones that's super complicated like Arnhem or Normandy allegedly were a little beefier. I think Victory at Sea or Victory in the Pacific might be a little beefier than like War at Sea. I'm not sure it would really count as a long-term project. I tend to stay away from board games that are going to be that large. I think the next one that I might tackle is with Todd, which would be the Victory series. So Victory Awaits, Victory Denied, and Victory what, Jeff?
Victory Lost.
There you go.
Well, no, you guys are going to play a Victory Awaits, the Barbarossa.
Oh, I thought you wanted to play all of them.
Well, you can, but I mean, Victory Awaits that's a big one.
Okay, there you go. So that should be cool. Look forward to that coming up now as it's getting nicer outside. Because we got to play in the garage and it is not climate controlled. In terms of large, long-term projects for miniatures, I'm sure that a lot of you guys have noticed that I've been kind of getting away from the giant work on forever, no end in sight sort of miniatures projects. I think the last one that I really kind of started like that was Victorian Sci-Fi, where I just started out with a few hundred miniatures to paint. And then, 15 airships or something like that, or 12 airships. And a good amount of that's painted, but it's certainly hit the point where it's, okay, I'll paint 10 guys. And then in a couple months, I'll paint 10 more. So I've been breaking it down into, I don't even know if smaller projects are really, well, there are smaller projects, but just more manageable projects like the Thomas Foss Rabbits. I started and finished that 1/600 scale Spanish-American War naval stuff. That being said, like we were talking about with Chris Long, there's always the 1/600, 1/700 World War II. At this point in time, I'm trying to keep my long-term projects to the ones that I already have, that I'm already staring at, not adding, you know what I mean? I'm sure at some point in time, am I muted?
No, you're talking.
Okay.
I'm just letting you go, man.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that at some point in time, I will add more long-term projects. I'm just really, trying not to add any at this point in time. What am I talking about? I just got a ton of ancients, like biblical period ancients. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Well, all that ranting, and then in the last years, I've absolutely started a big project. That being said, the nice thing is most of the terrain that I used for that will be generic enough that I can use it also with my with my Pancho Villa expedition stuff, right? Because we're just going to have adobe houses with flat roofs. It won't all be interchangeable, but there will be a good amount that will be. And I've got some of that stuff ordered. That'll be good. And then, honestly, the ancients, as soon as I finish this round of rabbits, which should be tonight or tomorrow night once we're done here, these next 30 rabbits that I got from Thomas Foss, which are still outstanding, highly recommend going and getting some rabbits from Skull and Crown Stratagems. They'll be done. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily jump into painting much else, in that realm right away. There are some figures from Eureka that would probably work for them, but I'm still waiting on my order from February 7th, 2022 from Eureka USA, and B, their stock situation is always pretty garbage. So if I were to order from Eureka, I'd probably order direct from Australia. But they
apparently what they have to do is they have to, when they ship it, they send it to Mars first.
No. So basically, I think what happened, I ordered on February 6th. He shipped it February 7th. And then on February 11th, USPS updated that little it's lost. It's not gone forever. It's just delayed. So I emailed him and I called him and I emailed him and I called him and I emailed him and I called him and I emailed him and I called him. And finally I got him to answer the phone. And I'm like, hey, can you at least open up, a query on your end as the seller? Because apparently USPS's policy, at least the gentleman or the lady that I talked to, she explained it to me that if it gets delivered and then it disappears, I open a, query, complaint, whatever about it. If he sends it and it never gets here, he needs to open that query. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's still on his end of things. So I'm trying to get him to do this. And then finally he says, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then I get this email saying first claim didn't go through. I'll start on the second one. And I don't know at what point he just agrees with my just send me another fucking order, man. Like, this is why you got the insurance. Just send me another order. But like I said, it's a giant pain to get in touch with him. So, yeah, I wish.
So that's your big project. The long
getting my fucking miniatures from Eureka. Yeah, because there's Victorian sci-fi in there. There's cavemen in there. I can't even tell you all the stuff that's in that order. It's not a huge order, but it's, probably 40 or 50, 60 miniatures. Yeah, so I got that going, I guess. Oh, and Eureka, Australia is on a, quote, long service leave from 13 April until 6 June. Oh, and it's not even accepting new orders. Fucking come on, man.
All right. So we've added a couple of folks here.
Oh, holy smokes. Hey, guys. Sorry, I was rambling.
That's okay. We're going to let you ramble. Before we let Mike show us what he's got going, Charles says, if I can get through Game 8 of my ID Jester thing by early July, I'll be setting up an August Orcs versus Humans, plus or minus 100 figures per side. That's a big game, sir.
It's a large game.
At least for me.
Charles,
and then my brother says, Junior Wargamer, and I say hi. Hello, Jay.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
And then we've had Reese join us.
Hello.
So we'll dive into what Reese thinks about all this after we see what Mike has to offer. Just as a reminder, Mike, you are on mute. So if you start talking, unmute.
And before you ask me what I think, please tell me what I'm thinking on. So.
Yeah. Oh, I will.
How awesome McMurray is. Anyways, Mike.
All righty.
So thank God.
During the painting challenge and part of the week after that, I was basically like working on a whole bunch of different things, not finishing anything, but so I've made lots of progress but finished nothing. But it's like I got the big swamp raptor dude built. I've a bunch of the terrain that I did. I started like priming them and getting, base coats and starting to try to figure out what. It's like a bonfire. Got stacks of logs and stuff, and unfortunately, those base coats are kind of dark, so the speed paints I'm going to put on them are not going to come out too well unless I do something
heavy dry brush and water.
I should probably do some more, some dry brushing over the top, and then I'm going to eventually do like a soft tone dip. I've got some of this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the ones are too dark. I spent a lot of time on a bunch of walls. They're like 10 different wall pieces. And let's see, how was the color on that? I've got like 3-4 different tones on there, and I'm gonna.
That looks great.
I think you can maybe see the green.
Yeah.
Part there. Yeah, it's not very good focus, but so I'm gonna do a little more highlights on that. I already used some, I didn't do a full dip. I did some quick shade on it. So all the cracks in between are nice and dark, but I want to go through and do some more highlights on those. So I guess one of them has a gate with
There you go.
brass fittings there. So those I say are about 70 to 80% done. Those bonfires and log piles or stuff are maybe only about 40% done. I started doing some base colors of the miniatures that I had primed back in the 90s. Bunch of lizard men. Let's see here if we can get the. So I'm starting to get the green skin and the sword and shields and the little brass rivets on it and stuff. And then I will still need to like do the teeth and the eyes, that really like fine detailed stuff, and then get a tone wash on those. So I think there's like 7 or 8 of those. And then I had, what was it, 24 of these, like what are they called, dire rats or something. They're the rats with the forked tail.
Oh yeah.
And these have not have a wash on them yet, but I used different color. So there's like a crusader skin for the inside of their ears. It's actually like necromancer yellow or something for their eyes, but I need to do like a little bit of dot. And then I've got like red for the inside of their mouth, but I need to paint all the teeth. You know, their tails obviously a different color, and I've got, I think it was pallid bone for their back spikes and stuff. But these are coming out a little more. I primed these in gray, and I should have gone ahead and just primed them in white. So I'll probably have to do a little bit of dry brushing, a tone down on a lot of these things here before I do that. So I've got, and I've built 2 of their rat nests, but I haven't. I think I started base painting one of those. That's somewhere. But so I've been, like I said, starting many. Yeah, that's why I built those swamp slugs that are like cavalry size and some other stuff. So lots of builds, but nothing completed. But of course, I bought lots of more good stuff. So like some extra pallets of paint, fire and brimstone, hammer and anvil. I had one small painting handle, and I got a gigantic one, a large one, along with, this is called, an assembly stand. So you can hook that onto guys and like where you're trying to glue them together, but you can actually combine these in a way where you put the bottom of this handle in the base of this, and then you can put those arms up on the top of this. So these were designed to combine together and sort of play Transformer. Oh yeah, here it shows on the back where he's there.
Oh yeah.
He's doing some stuff. So that was kind of cool. Let's see, what else did I get? Oh, got me some. I went and spent the bucks to actually get some dry brushes that I before I heard about the, like, oh, just use some makeup brushes. But so
That's all right.
That was maybe like $12 or something. I got a wet palette. Never used one before, but want to try that with the just the normal paints.
That's
They are hard.
Not gonna work with the speed paints because you don't want to mix those with water. And then, so those painting handles and that whole thing about assembling that. Let's get this open. I found this thing on Amazon. So this is a metal tin with a whole bunch of magnetic foldy alligator clips.
Oh, cool.
With rubber on them, so you're not going to damage. And so you could just use these to have a whole bunch of individual minis, or combine them to, hold one bigger thing together. So this was only like $12 or something like that. So I thought that was a good deal. So I'm excited to play around with this thing. So, and
Very cool.
what else did I get here? Some basing stuff. So it's a kit of 4,
Oh, yeah.
but your summer pasture, and then a bunch of individual ones. Dirt flock, marsh blend. Sounds like some kind of chewing tobacco or something. I don't know. I don't chew. Battlefield grass, and then this weird stuff: dust and dirt deposits, brown earth deposits. That's actually a liquid. So I don't know about that. There was some other thing I couldn't find it, but there's a like stuff that cracks. You put it on there and it dries in a weird way, and it makes like cracks, like when mud dries and it splits in a weird pattern.
Yeah.
I got something for that to try also. So those are all my toys that I've been buying while I've been busy not being able to paint. So my wife is
So
shaking her head.
do you have a big project that you've been working on?
My only big project is to finish my miniature challenge. That's the goal. Since I hadn't painted in umpteen years, and it's like getting back to it. And so, doing all these different things has been fun. But like I said, I haven't finished anything yet, but I'm getting close. And suddenly I'll probably have 40, 50 miniatures all done at once or so. But after all this stuff, I got to decide: do I want to keep painting Shadows and Brimstone? Do I start painting Songs of Ice and Fire? Do I want to start painting Zombicide? I mean, watching Warmutt, Brian, and all his Zombicide stuff, that's like, oh, I want to do that. But there's so many games, so little time. So what are you to do, right?
Yep. Yeah. So, well, thanks for sharing there. Reese.
Yes, sir.
So what we've been talking about is big projects, monster projects, both board games and in miniatures.
Okay.
And obviously, you probably miniature size wise, you got the biggest projects because all of yours are 54 millimeter. But honestly, what do you have? I know you're working on a D-Day campaign, right?
Yes. So I've got two campaigns I'm working on. One for this year, one for next year. This year's is going to be D-Day, and I'm using the Axis and Allies D-Day board game as my campaign map and for the base of my campaign rules. Now, I have made some slight modifications to it and continuing to do so. I've employed one of my friends already. I'm looking for one, maybe two other guys to jump in as well to kind of general the forces. Not every squad in that game is going to be represented on the tabletop. I'm just going to pick 2, 3, maybe 4 squads at most and follow those through the campaign, through small skirmishes that will have some effect on the campaign board, but will not affect the overall outcome of a battle one way or the other.
Right.
I've got most of my American forces done. I think I need to get some special weapons teams finished. I've got a couple of squads of British to finish for that. And then I need to rebase my Germans and then look through my gray stash and see if I have any Germans left that would fit the theme. I have all of my tanks for it done. Although I'm thinking about building another Sherman with waiting gear just because. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Cool.
So I've got 2 Panzer IVs now, 3 Shermans, 2 that'll fit the theme, an M5 Stuart, M8 Scott, M10 Tank Destroyer, a Tiger, a Jeep, German half-track, American half-track, Brumbar. So
the question I have for you, when did you start that particular project?
I put the idea for it together over the winter. I just didn't know when my timeline was going to be. But then I realized we had, June is going to be June 6th, of course. So I figured that the night of June 5th would be a good time to post an after-action report of paratroopers going into Normandy.
All right. Very cool. And you're going to hopefully put that up on Discord, right?
Oh, absolutely. I am planning on making a blog post, actually doing my first YouTube video, and putting it on Discord.
Cool. Outstanding.
But I got tired of painting olive drab and khaki, so I just picked 3 Apaches off my shelf and been working on them.
There you go. And that's actually a really good point, Reese. before I dig into that point. My brother says I started my Imperial Guard company in 1999. Does that count?
Yeah, the first figures I painted for that will be used in this campaign were painted. Oh goodness, 2014. So
Yeah. I mean, for you, I mean, you can't go back to 1999 because, well,
no, I mean I couldn't pick up a paintbrush then. So
right. But yeah, 2014 still. I mean, that's 9 years ago. So
that's when basically when I started the hobby. So or a little bit
yeah,
before then was when I
and
first actually started putting paint on miniatures.
yeah, and Jay says he's still not done with that Imperial Guard company.
No worries.
So, um, so yeah, when you are working on a big project, or you're playing a big game, um, if you ever find yourself to the point like, God, I don't, I can't do it anymore. I'm blah. Put it aside for a brief amount of time. Still keep your project deadline if you have a project deadline. Still keep that in mind, but do what Reese has done. He was tired of painting, as he said, olive and khaki, so he picked up 3 Apaches. And I'm assuming you're referring to actual Native American Apaches, not AH-64s, right?
No, I don't go that modern.
Okay.
I thought he meant the
Right.
helicopters, man.
Yeah, those guys are looking good.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I started them this afternoon. So
So, it's do it like a palate cleanser. You know, um, when I get tired of painting Star Wars stuff, I print up some World War II ships and go to town on them. Or I know that what. So I do have a big project planned, and y'all have heard me talk about it. And I need to start to be about it, and not just talk about it. And that's my Texas National Guard circa 1985 project. I need to actually sit down and order some stuff.
just so we're clear and there's no misunderstanding, I was shushing the dog, not you.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know. It's,
Sorry.
we're good. And so that is going to be a big long-term project for me because, like I've said before, I'm wanting to do 1-to-1. For every, I want to have every tank company, every artillery battery, um, every, everything there is there. I want to do it all in 3mm. So, Steve says my longest project is a fistful of lead of John Carpenter's The Thing. I want to say Jay and I have been talking about it for 10 years. I think we got it figured out for March to Victory. Outstanding. Second would be my Terror Island campaign. Chapter 1 was at March to Victory. Chapter 2 will be different. The newest is my Fistful of Lead Last Action Heroes game. That's going to take a while. I am excited about your Last Action Heroes game, Steve. I'm going to tell a little secret. The Baron shared one of your cards with McMurray and me, and it looks outstanding. I won't share it with anybody else because it's like Las Vegas. What stays in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But I do have to admit it's looking good. So, but yeah, I'm wanting to do the thing in 3mm where I get, I think at the 49th Armored Division had, I think, 6 battalions of 6 battalions of tanks, and in 85 I think those were M60A3s. So however I think at that point in time there was 5 tanks. Yeah, 5 tanks to a 5 tanks to a platoon, 3 platoons to a company, plus the XO and CO. So was that 17 tanks to a company? Three
And I'm assuming
companies.
that's all Pico armor.
Yeah, 3 companies to a battalion, 3 battalions to a regiment. So I don't math that well, but yeah, it's a couple of hundred M60s. I can get 15 of them. If I'm not mistaken, they just did a price increase. Used to be you could get 15 tanks for 5.25 or for 4.25. Then they went up to $4.75. I think they're at $5 now. Yeah, they're $5 a package, but still,
That's still not a bad price at all.
I mean, you're looking at 15 tanks, or 15 APCs, or if it's like towed artillery, it's a mix between limbered and unlimbered guns. But you get 15 of them for $5.
Oh, that would have been bad. I almost used my root beer as paint water.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. So I need to, as McMurray would say, be about it and not talk about it, or stop talking about it and start being about it, or something to that effect. Pardon me,
Now, with your towed guns and your deployed guns,
Mhm.
are you going to model each? Or
Yes.
Are you going, okay.
Yeah, of course, because when I actually play with the tanks, or when I actually play with the unit, I have to have them both shown as deployed and towed.
Okay. I'm not familiar with a lot of those rule sets that would involve mass battles, so I didn't know if you had to have both miniatures.
You don't have to, but being the lunatic that I am,
I should have figured.
I'm going to. So now you don't have to have you don't have to have that when you're looking at SPs,
Okay.
because it's
The trowels are out, and the
you really don't, you're not gonna at 6mm or 3mm, you're not necessarily going to see it, the gun in the raised position. You're not going to see the spades out, because there's not that big of a difference in 3mm between the two. So, but I'm at one point in time, I heard someone go plink here. Hold on. Who do we have joining us? What?
What's up?
So yeah, that's I want to get started on that this year, and I'm probably going to ask for miniatures for my birthday. So, which is coming up in June. So
what do you have left to get?
I have to start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, now speaking of somebody that's got long-term projects,
Who?
Warmud is nothing but long-term projects when it comes to Zombicide,
Yeah.
because that is a never-ending hole of depravity.
Yeah, it is. So, but I think I'm changing my tune. I might start instead of doing that chronological journey. I might start sprinkling in the Invader and then Undead or Alive. So,
Right.
but yeah, painting wise though, I mean, like this painting challenge, I finally completed the whole season 2 set, Prison Outbreak. So
There you go.
So that takes care of season 1 and season 2.
Yeah, you probably got me whooped on points by now.
Yeah, I've been it's kind of slowed down quite a bit. So, but anyways, I did want to get on here and show Jeff. I'm almost done touching it up, but I am getting a Confederate cavalry dude here finished up here. See Jeffy. See,
Ooh.
yeah, for Picacho Peak.
So
So-
you just need what, like 7, 8 more of those guys?
About, yeah, because it was a small skirmish. So now, supposedly reading the story just doesn't. I'm sure, obviously, the Confederate had some horses there. They were just in a little small outpost, just hanging out there. And then those idiots, whatever his name was, came charging in on him. So and got shot dead on the site. But anyways, yeah, that's it. But nothing else. Been, you guys were talking about how like Reese is changing up things. That's I always do that, man. I finished up 35 of those of the Invader. They're called workers. The regular old infantry, whatever you want to call it, for Zombicide Invader. And in between them, I'll take like a Reaper miniature or something just totally different, and then just go to town on painting that. So that's why I did this Confederate here too. So, but anyways, besides that's it.
Cool.
So, and I guess the project. Where's McMurray at, man? He's quiet. Lost him.
No, he's still here somewhere.
Probably falls.
We haven't heard him snore yet, so we've got that going for us.
He's sleeping, drooling on the coffee table. But and I got a whole bunch more of NBF buildings, the new stuff for the Grimdale thing I got going. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. And, I'm going to be inviting more. It's not just maybe Murray and Greg. I'm going to see if you guys could be available to play too. So
Absolutely.
it's going to be awesome. So there's a lot to it. So now it'll be more of a, I guess, what is it called? A narrative kind of gaming, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So yeah,
I dig it.
Yeah. But anyways, and that's about it. I kind of gave up on the mountains there, Jeff. So we'll probably just do a flat kind of desert terrain.
Whatever. Yeah, you don't have to have the mountains. You can cordon off the area we're going to fight in.
Yeah.
But just say we can't go there. There's mountains there.
Well, yeah, because then it's going to be called Picacho Foothills or something.
You got a world book or a Encyclopedia Britannica?
Huh?
You got a world book or a Encyclopedia Britannica you could break up and put the fabric over it? That's good hills and mountains.
No,
Yeah.
I want to go more than that, Reese.
Okay. I'm saying put the tan fabric over it. Boom, desert hill.
I know what you're saying, but I want more than that. I want more.
All right.
So, but we'll see.
I guarantee you these Apaches will never have more than that to fight over.
Scalar Gremlin says, I don't think I could ever get into painting Zombicide. I struggle to batch paint, and the idea of painting a zillion exactly the same zombies, F that.
You don't paint exactly the same ones. You do them all dip. If I once when you'll see my. Well, I did the first one. If you ever go back, look in the archives of my very first one I completed, the first season, every single one of them is different.
Now, I think maybe what he's referring to is the poses.
Oh yeah, that. There's no.
I think that's what he's talking, because that's the problem I have with stormtroopers.
Yeah.
When I when I did my Battle for Endor, and I had to paint up 15 stormtroopers. 15 stormtroopers doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot of white and black and nothing else.
Oh, I can't stand them because trying to put that black in the crevices and all that stuff. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. I just decided, you know what, it might look. I'm going to do the best I can. If it's not perfect, it looks good it looks good on the table 3 feet away.
Now, I don't know much about Zombicide figures, but is there any way to potentially customize them, kit batch them, head swap them?
Well, you can. You have to cut them up.
Okay.
You go
Yeah.
that route.
They're single piece.
Yeah.
They're single piece models.
I've done a little bit of single piece conversions, but those are more difficult.
Yeah, it's a pain in the nards.
Mhm.
So, but yeah,
But
Yes.
I don't know, Reese. If you can see behind my shoulder there, that's how much more I got of Zombicide.
Yeah, I don't want to show my pile of gray.
yeah, that's
That's all
stacked
Zombicide.
taller than he is.
Yeah.
So Brian, how many copies of Black Ops did you buy that was on sale?
Black Ops.
Yeah, that one was on sale for like $20.
Oh
First-
man, it was on sale cheaper than that too.
Oh, really?
So-
Wow.
So Brian, let me count the number of like file drawers of sprues that I have filled to the brim. 1,
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12 file drawers of sprues.
Jesus.
Yikes!
So yeah,
Quit buying them.
I have, and so far I've kept up with it.
You quit buying Zombicide.
I still haven't pulled the trigger on the White Death yet. Though they came out with, because it seems to be more of a tower defense kind of system this time around. It's their very first Asian theme one.
Yeah,
And they came out with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the medieval now. And when they came out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the modern, if you want to try to buy those, they're going for about $200, $200 or so. to get those.
crazy.
But and that's why everyone's jumping on these, because they'll be the same, but it's for the medieval stuff. But they just came out. Zombicide, Simon, whatever. Now they came out with tower sections. So now you could build the tower at the wall. It's a wall is what it is, and you're protecting them from going over the wall pretty much.
It's a turret.
So, but yeah, that's the first. I never saw them start doing that, but yeah, and I guess Marvel Zombies going to hit retail here in a month or so, but that's $110 box just for the core. That's real expensive, that one. That Kickstarter was going for like $700 to $800, and I was just like, eh.
Good lord.
So there's 3 figures done today.
Let me take a look here. Hold on.
I don't think they're done. I don't think they're done at all.
You got to do the base.
Oh, I will do the bases. I didn't say the bases were done.
Then they're not
The
done.
figures are done.
Beat a jackass. Scout Gremlin says, same. I made it through 8 Clone Troopers and lost interest. Yeah, it's now what I did with Clone Troopers is I started. I had the core box for. I've got the core box for Legion from the Clone Wars period, and so I've got, I think it's like 14 troopers, and so I did one set of 7 in blue and white, so like this here, and each dude is done up a little. Each has a different blue look to him, and then I also did an orange squad, and then I did the same thing with the battle droids. I think I did green and yellow. I think I don't remember. They're over there. I don't want to worry about getting them, but yeah, regular straight up stormtroopers though. You don't have that because they're all the same. They're just white, except for the sergeants that have got that orange pauldron. Yeah, Charles. So not only did you have to push through 16 of those skeletons out of the 32 to get done, those were the Atlantic War Games or whatever skeletons, which are a pain in the ass anyway.
I'm proud of him for that.
Yeah, those are not. Yeah, those are not easy or fun to work with. They're a pain in the ass all the way around. So,
Well, Brian, since you're going to be technical about it, boom, one figure done.
hold on, put that back up there.
Boom, one figure done.
Nice.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not washed.
It needs to be based.
It is based. I just put sand on the base.
It needs to
Oh,
be
okay.
washed.
Maybe he doesn't want to wash it. Maybe that's the look he's going for.
Hey, McMurray, check out this yellow boy.
That's not done either.
Nice. I like it.
I figured you would.
I'm not gonna show Brian.
He's got a little droop in his rifle there.
Yeah, that's the.
They got
That's
medication
the
for
base.
that. They got medication for that.
They're Paragon Scenics, so they're the plastic is not the most weather resistant.
Yeah, it happens. So,
I much prefer my armies in plastic, but armies in plastic does not make
Dude.
crappies.
Yeah, you guys saw that link I sent you about like that D&D 5th edition, but for like a Revolutionary War and all that.
yes, it did.
I think that might be interesting, man. So, and they got one. They got one for Civil War too coming out.
There you go.
Yep, I think
there
Jeff,
you go, Hexy. You can role play the Civil War.
there you go, Jeff. He'll be DM whatever.
Don't they call that reenacting?
Why should I role play when I lived in it?
Huh?
There's a lot to unpack there. Holy shit.
I was gonna say,
Alright.
huh?
Jeffrey
there's
lives
a lot to unpack
geographically
on that.
where a good amount of the Civil War took place in the Shenandoah Valley.
Good amount of the Civil War existed in his lifetime. What are you talking about?
Oof. I was
I
born
kid
that
you. I
much.
kid you. I kid you. I kid you. Oh. So speaking of stormtroopers,
They suck.
to paint, yes. No spoilers, but the Mandalorian, the last episode of The Mandalorian was superb.
Now, was that supposed to be series finale or season finale?
Wait, I haven't seen it.
I'm not saying anything.
I just
Yeah,
I
it
don't
came
know
out
how they
today, huh?
advertised it.
I don't know. All I know is that Dave Filoni will be doing a feature-length film that's going to be going to theaters that will
Nice.
wrap up the Mandalorian verse, as it were. So it'll be
We're
a
gonna blow up the
combination.
universe.
What's that?
They're gonna blow up the universe.
Yeah,
Well, they already
probably
blew
so.
up the Death Star and Death Star 2 and Starkiller Base, so yeah, I'm sure they have to come up with something.
So, yeah, Scal Gremlin says Hexy is so old, Jesus owes him $5. That wouldn't be $5 because the United States didn't exist back then. It would be shekels. Let's get
Yeah,
it
but
right.
Think of the interest for now.
Right? Right?
Let's see, 5 denarii. Okay, 5 denarii is what? A day's wages. You make how much a
No,
day?
it's just Dershi.
You charge Jesus interest?
Denari.
He's gonna flip your tables.
Be careful, we might start making a whip or something.
But like I said, I won't do any spoilers because I know there's some that have not seen it yet or much.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I liked it a lot. Then I also just finished watching the last couple of episodes of The Bad Batch. Oh yeah, sorry. Hexy was born when rocks were soft. Oh shit, that one's funny. I like that one. Bad Batch ended on a cliffhanger. So we know we're going to get more Bad Batch, but we're not going to get it until 2024. So we got to wait at least another 8 months before it comes out.
I'm
And
still
probably
like
longer
on.
than that.
I'm still like episode 10 or 11 on the first one.
Oh man, I really dig the Bad Batch. People have been bitching about it for some dumbass reason. I don't know. I like it.
It's hard for me to sit and like binge watch it, but I don't mind picking up an episode now or then. It
Yeah.
just gets old after a while. And maybe it's her voice, maybe it's Wrecker. I don't know, but
Picard, best Star Trek ever series.
That's where I'm headed next. I understand that the third season is the best season. If you can get yourself through the first season, which I gotta admit I'm having a little difficulty getting through the first season.
Last episode, I think, is tomorrow night. I binge watched all three.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Charles says, "Leave Hexy alone. He ain't that old to me. You're all a bunch of fresh-faced younglings."
Master Skywalker, what are we going to do? Sorry, could not resist.
That face when kids saw this.
You know how they got that reaction, right? Hayden Christensen shouted "boo."
I know there are a lot of people out there that don't like the prequel trilogy. I don't know. I saw episode 1 6 times in the first week it was out. I was so excited to have new Star Wars on the big screen. I went and saw it 6 times that first week. The 7th time I saw it was about 7 months later when I took Donna on our first date. Or our second date, excuse me, our second date.
So for
Skull
those,
Gremlins, what's that?
so for those people who have watched The Mandalorian, how many of you realize that Jar Jar Binks is in there?
What?
Not the character, the guy who played the
Oh,
voice of
yeah.
Jar Jar
Oh
Binks.
yeah,
Yeah,
Ahmed
okay.
Best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We did not realize that. We had to look it up and say, oh, okay.
I bet a lot of people missed out on Zeb, the cameo appearance of Zeb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him.
Yeah, if y'all if you are a Star Wars if you are a Star Wars fan and you have not watched Rebels, do yourself a favor and watch Rebels.
Tomakus could go
Absolutely.
kiss my.
Skylar Gremlin says first season of Picard was basically just a holodeck adventure of Firefly. Shepard book played by Picard, 709 as Jane Cobb, etc., etc. Okay, so I might have to start rewatching it, thinking of it like that because I love me some Firefly. Jar Jar Binks is the best character in the prequels. I mean, if that's the way you want to go with it, that by all means. I am not going to tell you how to like or dislike Star Wars.
Listen, troll. Misa think Tomakus is crazy.
Hey,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not going to tell you how to have your fun. And if you're having fun by watching Jar Jar Binks, by all means, have
There
at
was
it.
there's a hobby YouTube channel that did an April Fool's video on making an entire Legion army of Gungans.
I mean, Gungans in and of themselves aren't bad.
If it
No.
wasn't for painting the shields, I'd be way into that.
Yeah.
You know what you could do?
You get blue resin, blue translucent resin, and just 3D print them.
Oh yeah, but I was thinking about making a framework of like wire and then putting saran wrap in the wire, painting the edges of it, and then doing the purple ink over the saran wrap.
That's way too much. Just
All right, one of y'all gonna get STL files from me for I'm printing up a Zombicide Invader walls. I'll pay you guys for it.
what?
I want to get walls printed up for Zombicide Invader.
Okay.
Yeah, because it'll look cool.
Find me the STL. I'll work on it.
Yeah, I'll get the STLs and I'll send them off.
We can
I
make it happen.
expect a turnaround of a month or two, maybe.
Well, right now my printer is down because I'm waiting for a new nozzle.
Crap. McMurray, you're next.
I don't think McMurray has an FDM printer.
Anyway. Yeah. Oh.
That is something I look forward to having.
A 3D printer?
Yeah, resin and FDM.
I just can't get myself to do it because it's just another thing to worry about and clean up and all that crap.
Yeah. Get a cheap ass table covered in the plastic type stuff that was on your grandmother's couch. Call it good.
The plastic that's still on the grandmother's couch.
Yeah, well,
I keep a bunch of that in my back room.
I don't want to know, Jeff. I don't want to know.
Well, that stuff I usually leave by the front door when someone walks in. On the floor, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that, when we said that, it made me think of Joe Pesci in what was that movie? Not Casino, but was it Goodfellas?
Goodfellas?
Yeah, it was Goodfellas. Yeah, he opened that door. Oh no! So
Yeah, for legal reasons, I will not make any comments on this subject.
yeah.
Let's just say my mom used to work for somebody that changed his name because of who his family was in Kansas City. His name as I knew him was Vince Cummings.
Yes, because that first name and that last name line up.
His real name was Vincenzo Camasano. And if anybody that knew anything about Kansas City in the mid to late 80s, early to mid 80s, knew the Camasano name was one that normally had a ticket to someplace like Lansing, Kansas, or St. Cloud, Minnesota, where there are very large federal penitentiaries. So I'm sure there was plenty of that material purchased by that family. So,
You can get it really cheap at Home Depot right now. It's just a little green tinted.
well, you can get the clear stuff from Walmart in the
Good
fabrics
to
department.
Good to know.
I am gonna look at getting what you cardboard pushers have there. Big
Plexiglass?
glass. Yeah, the plexiglass.
Yep.
That work great to put on top of the tiles on the Zombicide.
I got real lucky. My piece came from my job. It is what is its size here? I actually cut it down, so it was a lot bigger than it. You know, I got 800,000 of these damn things. Why can't I ever find them? There we go. All right. So it is 30 by 44. It's actually the size of the U.S. Civil War map. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it is.
What's a good thickness? Yeah, like 3 millimeter.
What is this?
Jeffy's not paying attention, man. I expect him, the Grandmaster.
Yeah, 3 mil. 3 millimeter.
Okay. I bet Jeffy's playing Warcraft or something.
Outstanding. Anyway, so I don't know how much this would cost if I went to buy it.
That's expensive.
Right now, it's not cheap.
No.
But everybody around town, all the different businesses around town, bought just scads of this shit to put up.
Yeah, COVID, yeah.
Because of COVID. And
Yeah.
so when it was finally determined that we were going to open back up and nobody had to wear masks anymore, my boss said, "Yeah, just throw that away.
Oh.
I'll throw that away into the back of my car and take it home." That's
Yeah,
what
I'll,
I'll throw it
I'll
away.
dispose of that for you.
So it was about a 6-foot long piece that I cut down to that 44 inches. So yeah, it's good stuff. I got lucky. So like I said, I've got U.S. Civil War up right now. I've got it all laid out, ready to go. I just need to sit down and figure out how to play it. There's no. I went to Board Game Geek and I couldn't find. I mean, there's a lot of videos about the game, but a lot of unboxings and a lot of what's in the box and a lot of this is what happened during the turn. But there's no, step-by-step how to play.
So which U.S. Civil War game is this? The GMT one? The card game?
The U.S. Civil War by GMT. It's a Simonich game.
I'm surprised it's not some playthroughs. That's weird.
Well, there are, but it's none of them talk about setup. I've had to kind of guess about setup because that's one thing I've noticed about a lot of board games. They don't do a really good job of showing you this is how they'll tell you like where all the units go. They've got no problem telling you where the units go, but they don't talk about how you set up the data tracks very well. You got to guess about that shit.
Just ask Jeffy. He knows everything about it, right?
Oh, I'm sure. If he's got the game.
Quiet, he's playing.
What's that?
He's playing his game. Be quiet.
No, I'm texting. Which game?
The U.S. Civil War.
Yeah, I got it.
I know you do.
Just dropped a super glued piece.
But it's just I would like a picture of what it's supposed to look like when you set it up. Because that would make sense, right?
Yep.
But they don't do that. I don't know. Minutes didn't do that.
Don't they have coordinates on that thing that you follow? Or?
Well, like I said, the units, where the units go, yes, they do a great job of telling you where the units go. But setting up like the data tracks, like like on this, it's got your maintenance points and your resource VPs and that type of thing, I've guessed. I mean, it tells you it'll tell you what your starting values are.
Right. You should have markers to put on there, like 10, 1,
Right.
100.
Yeah, I do. So, but I'm guessing that I've got it set up right. But I don't have a way of confirming that this is how it's supposed to be set up because there's no picture. They just say, you know, VPs. The union's got 4 VPs. Well, but see, I only have one VP marker of a ×1, and I guess I've got a 10 VP marker somewhere, maybe.
Flip it over. What's on the back side of it?
There's the 10 VP. But do the Confederates not have
No,
a VP marker?
It's probably one of those ones that you only count for one side.
Yeah, because see, I thought I was missing a counter because, you know, I would think that I would have a VP marker for both sides, and it doesn't explicitly state anywhere in the rules that I could find that.
Well, what's your victory conditions say for the game?
For this scenario, I'm doing the 1862 scenario. The following only apply to the 1862 scenario, not to campaign games starting in 1862. Union victory, the Union player wins if he has 24 VPs at the end of the game. If the Confederate player has any VPs, those must be subtracted from the Union VPs before determining victory. Okay, so how do I track Confederate
Well, then you
VPs?
must have a marker. Was that game
there it
brand
is.
new? Oh, there you got it.
There it is.
Okay.
What's that?
I said you got it. You found it. So you'll subtract whatever the Union has. You'll subtract the Confederate number from the Union, and if you have 24 points when you're done, then the Union wins.
Right, but see, this is what's throwing me is that the blue, which I assume would be the Union.
Right.
It's if I flip it over, it's not a 1 VP. It's a 10. It's
Right.
it says-
So when you move the victory point marker up to 9, the next victory point you flip that thing over to the 10 side and put it down on 0. So now you have 10.
right. But see, I've got this victory point marker,
Right.
which is going to be the Confederates.
Right.
I flip it over, and there's the 10.
Right.
The blue one doesn't do that.
Show me the blue one again. It says
Are
time.
there, two,
right?
are there two blue ones, a ×1 and a ×10?
Nope.
That's why I don't play this game.
They're both
Oh, they
there,
both
has
say
to be,
×10.
there has to be a ×1.
So I'm
For
missing a counter.
Union.
Son of a bitch.
Or
Because
that's
they
a
might
different-
have 33 points while they anticipate the Confederacy never having more than like 19 or something like that. Or
Yeah.
Well, but see, the red is the Confederates. So
Right.
they've got the
So
110.
they either add 1 or 10, and so they probably they say there's no way they can get more than say 19, right?
Well,
Just
they've got a track. They've got a 0 through 9 track and a double 0 through 90 track. So I could have 900. I could have 900 victory points. I'm not saying I would, but
It's weird.
yeah.
I'll have to get my copy.
Pizza.
So yeah, I think I'm missing. I think I'm missing a counter. Oh well. I'll get something figured out. So, and then there's of course an automatic victory condition.
What's that? Burning Washington, D.C. or burning Richmond?
Now, in addition to the normal VPs listed in the automatic victory section, also award the Union and Confederate players the following VPs at the end of the scenario. Union gets a half VP, retain fractions for each blockade DRM point currently in Union control, It is in Union control if the blockade runner port associated with the DRM is closed. Confederates get 1 victory point for each border state objective hex in Confederate states control.
Charles had a good idea right there.
Take 2 dimes, paint 1 blue, 1 red. There's your 10-point market. There you go. Marker. Yeah. Now the Confederate victory is the Confederate player wins if the Union player has failed to achieve his victory conditions. Well, duh. But I would have to go look at what the automatic victory conditions. Just, I guess they've got a basic automatic if you meet these criteria, no matter what. Oh yeah, here's automatic victory.
Huh.
So Chris, I got a water cooled 30 cal on this sprue,
There you go.
and I got a bunch of Marines left to build. I'm thinking about making a John Basilone.
I thought you were going to give that to the Apaches.
Oh no, that'd be cool. But that'd be like straight out of the Wild Bunch or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, what are the Apaches going to be used for?
I've got a bunch of Western 54 millimeter skirmish dudes, and I just painted them up and
Aren't you making those to cut Custer's hair?
something like that. But
That's
kinda
Apaches
wrong.
weren't there.
Real close.
So, no, I've got probably 20 to 30 Mexicans, 20 to 30 Apaches, and
Ooh,
20 to 30 cavalry to do. So
should look up Fort Bowie, man.
I'll do something. I've thought about doing kind of a 3-way skirmish campaign on the border. But
Mm-hmm.
So, a new game has just come out. By 2 fat lardies.
What?
It's What a Cowboy.
No, Waterburger.
I've heard good things. Have any of y'all actually put your hands on it?
No, but John, our British foreign correspondent,
Johnny.
is going to be picking it up this weekend, and he will let us know the goods, the bads, the uglies.
You should get the Lardies on here.
Yeah, I need to reach out to them. It would definitely have to be like a Saturday or Sunday afternoon.
Hey, butt robes on.
Hey, Wardrobe, how are you doing, sir? So it is, and I don't know the transition. It's almost parody. Parody, not parity. Or parity, not parody. But it's going to be available 24th of April. Like, I think John is picking it up at a show where they're going to be. But you can get the book, the cards, and the tokens right now bundle for £38.96.
I love you, Todd.
Do I need the cards and the dice?
Yeah.
Not the dice, tokens.
Okay, the tokens. Do I need the cards and the tokens? That's a good question.
You know what? I don't know because I don't know what are in the cards. You know.
Yeah.
Let's see here. It says that the card deck, What a Cowboy card deck set includes both the game deck and the Desperado deck with sufficient cards for 10 characters a side and all the Desperado cards needed to play. The cards come in an attractive card to tuck box and are standard poker card size with rounded corners. As for whether if they're needed to play or not, I don't know.
That might be interesting.
But if I'm not mistaken, it's based loosely on What a Tanker.
What a tanker.
Okay.
Now the token set looks like you can they probably have the tokens that you could probably photocopy them. They're just looks like a B with 2 lines in them. And then they are, one is circled with a full red, the other is kind of a lighter red, and then the other one is no red at all. So I probably had something to do with life points.
Okay. I'm sure that's something that can be scrounged up if necessary. And
So
I think the
Mike,
cards are like character cards.
yeah, Mike says USO Lore should have both a 10 VP and 1 VP marker for the Union. BGG has a picture of the counter sheet. Okay, so I'm going to have to find it. Son of a bitch. All right. Thank you, sir.
If you buy games used, the most frequently missing counters are the game turn markers or things like VP markers, because people forget those when they put the game away and they get lost.
No, this I bought it brand new. So, yeah, I'm not to the point of buying games used yet. No. All righty, guys. Well, we are coming up to 2 hours.
So
So some of us have got to go to work tomorrow.
yeah.
Remember that.
So I want to thank y'all for hopping on and watching with us. I want to thank y'all for coming on and sharing with us. This Saturday may or may not have a show. Not sure.
Why?
Depends on if the wife wants to do something. So we probably will. It'll probably start normal time at 8:00.
Bull crap. I'm getting his home side game. You guys are joining.
Okay, we'll do that too.
We'll do a
So-
little one.
Yeah, Charles. For those young whippersnappers, we still have to go to work.
Reese is going to play.
Am I playing what now?
You're going to play home side.
Never played.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
It's easy. Jeff plays it. If
Well,
Jeff,
I mean, if Jeff plays it, it's got to be super easy, right?
oh yeah.
Or super complex, one or the other.
Yeah, of course, Jeff will shoot you too.
That's fine. I shoot first anyway.
Yeah. No, it don't work that way.
Jeff, have you played that Zombie Civil War game?
No, I'm not really into that stuff, but I just play the stuff with Brian's minis because it's kind of funny.
Yeah, we have fun with it.
I gotta get y'all involved in this D-Day campaign come June.
Yeah, you do.
So I may have to commandeer the wife's sewing table and throw my painting table next to it and put some terrain on it and live stream it. So
There you go. Make it happen.
I'm gonna do my best to.
Cool. So,
Best.
once again, guys, thanks all for showing up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hopping on and sharing with us. I do appreciate it.
Look at that.
I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Got 2 more for those of us that have got regular work weeks. You got 2 more days,
Thank
and then
goodness.
we got the weekend. Of course, I think this weekend it's supposed to rain, so yeah, there's a better than likely chance we will.
Oh, we're in a drought season, man.
You know, so much for fly fishing on Saturday. I prefer.
Yeah,
not to
because you're got a friggin' desert. Of course, it's drought season.
Yeah. Well, we're getting nothing here. Just yeah. Oh well.
Before people disappear, I got a quick question. Do any of
Yeah.
you know of a good line of Magyar horsemen?
Magar?
Magyars, yes, the tribes that became the Hungarians.
No, I do not.
That's what my game project is on. I'm going to do a sweep of history game, kind of like Britannia, but focusing on the Magyars.
What scale?
The scale for the minis, probably like 25 or 28.
Okay.
Is that before Vlad?
Say again?
Is that before Vlad?
Vlad Tepes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So my game is covering from about 400 AD up to about 1000 AD
Oh.
when the Magyars finally became Christian. So from their pagan roots with Turkish style Taltos shamans worshiping the lightning god, and they have this really weird death god and all that cool stuff.
Well, talk about going unique.
Yep. Something different.
I don't know about Magyar specific, but Fireforge has Byzantine 28 mil, but I think the armor would be different. I'm not sure.
Well, definitely Byzantines are the Magyars did a lot of raiding against the Byzantines, so eventually I'll need those too. I'll need the Bulgars, Volga Bulgars, the Western Bulgars. Need a lot of East Frankians.
Okay, who stole my dog and why is he yelping on the other side of the camera?
It's one of my cats.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be what about Dacians, or is that way?
The Dacians were before. They're
okay.
pre-Magyar.
Huh, interesting. There's something new. So,
Yeah, I ended up doing way too much. Well, I haven't finished the research, but my annotated bibliography of the project was up to 32 books. It's crazy.
all right.
Phenomenal.
Hey, where'd our host go? He was saying bye, and I guess he took off, huh?
I was seeing what the cat wanted.
Well, bye.
So. Okay, Powers.
All right, I'll look around. Thanks, guys.
Sure. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank everybody, like I said, for showing up. Without you guys, there's no reason for me to do this, and y'all continue to come out and make me feel good about myself, because y'all, as Sally Field says, you like me. You really, really like me. Or at least you pretend to, and that's just as good. So, like I said, we'll probably have the show on Saturday. I'll be doing some more painting. We'll see who decides to show up with us. So, and with that, I'll go ahead and call it a night.
Cue the music.
Until next time, we'll see you on the flip side.